Thank you. In the interest of time, I will stand on the existing protocol that the CMA has already established and just say, welcome, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I was actually about to give you an in-depth rundown of the very robust subsidy investment and empowerment program. In other words, the benefits that government has worked very hard to hash out in terms of the deregulation. However, let me hold that a little bit and respond to some of the things that Olisa has just brought up, which are very real and I think deserve a response, a first-line response. Is there a subsidy, at least in the oil and gas sector? Yes, there is. In 2003, the government took away the discount that NNPC was getting when it went to buy crude on the open market, and instead ensure that NNPC bought at global crude prices. At the same time, it asked that NNPC give a discount for the products that the refineries refined and put on the market. So the arithmetic is clear. You buy at global prices, you sell at a discount. That was the beginning of subsidies. And we have continued with that trend ever since. Today, if we take a product that we all know, household kerosene, it lands at approximately 140 naira. That's what it is bought on the international market at, and it lands in this country at that amount. We sell it ex-depot price to the middle line marketers at 40 naira per litre. Our recommended price to sell it to the public is 50 naira per litre, but as you all know, all those who have bought kerosene, it is generally available at 85 naira and above, depending on where you are in the country. And the same thing as the CMA just told you, with PMS, we have worked very hard over the last 16 or 17 months to ensure that for the first time in a long time, the country has been consistently wet with fuel everywhere in the country. So there is fuel everywhere now, which wasn't happening before. But we cannot control the prices simply because the 65 naira that is quoted is generally available in urban centers such as Lagos here, Abuja, Port Harcourt, and so on and so forth. If you go into the hinterland in Bayelsa, you will not get PMS or petrol at 65 naira. And that is because of the bridging costs, the cost of the logistics of taking it into those places. And why are we doing bridging and trucking, taking our products by road and by water? Because our pipelines have been vandalized consistently over the years. Both our crude pipelines and our product pipelines as well. And these are some of the benefits when you deregulate, that some of the funds, not to mention the private sector equity investment that comes into these sectors, ensures that they are more adequately, efficiently, and expediently controlled. And therefore, we will see in a few years' time that we were in fact expediently moving our goods, our products, our refined products to other parts of the countries in the manner that they should be, which is through the pipelines. So yes, there is a subsidy. And yes, the subsidy is very real. What are the challenges? Because he did say that we should talk about the challenges. And I'm telling you some of them already that we have. Now look at our refineries, which has been a very topical issue, and that we have always been asked about at all these fora. You and I both know that for the last 10 years or more, our refineries have not worked in the way that they should. It is common knowledge that the turnaround maintenance has been consistently abused. Our refineries, when we came into government 16 years ago or so, when I came into, 16 months ago when I came into this position, we're running at about 30% or more capacity utilization. We have worked very hard and aggressively to ensure that at this point they are between 50 and almost 60% capacity utilization and producing almost 30% of our locally needed refined products at this time. We have gone beyond that to ensure that we bring in the original contractors who built our traditional refineries, Kaduna, Warri, and Port Harcourt, to come in and this time handle the turnaround maintenance themselves, simply to show the Nigerian public that we are serious. And this is the only way we can do it. And they have given us an aggressive program of 24 months to ensure that in 24 months, according to them, they will be able to bring those refineries up to 90% capacity utilization, starting with Port Harcourt in about 12 to 13 months, and then Kaduna and Warri. Now, it is not in the interest of Nigeria for government to remain in the business of refineries, as it is not in the interest for them to remain in many such businesses. It is in the interest of the economy for government to hold a certain equity participation, a certain investment to protect the economy. But really, these are entities that should be managed by private sector understanding and managerial expertise. And that is what we would like to see. What are the challenges? If you come into the business of refineries today, you will make a slight profit, but not a lot of return on your investment. In Nigeria, because of our population, a refinery is only viable if you are producing at least 100,000 barrels per day. 100,000 barrel refinery will cost you $3.3 or so billion to set up. That is no mean amount. A 200,000 barrel refinery, about $4.2 billion. Therefore, as the CME pointed out, very few people are willing to come in and invest and put down that sort of money up front if they are not assured of a viable commercial return on that investment. So we really have to get real about this. If we deregulated, we would expect that there would be a much higher inflow in investment interest. There already is, but that is because they are beginning to sense the possibility of deregulation. And quite apart from our traditional refineries and the 3 greenfield refineries that we are planning with private sector investment participation, equity investment as well, we would expect that other investors will come in and set up refineries, and they are already bringing proposals to that intent. More than that, it will open up the sector in the downstream, in the areas of our depots, which will also be open for private equity investment, even our pipelines, crude and product pipelines as well. And more than that, even the areas that we are pushing very aggressively now, as we are implementing a world-scale petrochemical factory, a world-scale fertilizer plant, world-scale blending plants, central processing facilities, LPG distribution plants, as well as methanol or ethanol plants, as well in the whole scheme of our gas industrialization program. Those things are already being implemented. But imagine what would happen when we open up the downstream sector and allow both indigenous investors and international investors across the board to come into the downstream sector. The jobs that we expect to create already now with what we are doing, to the tune of 1 million jobs, would more than triple. In fact, the multiplier effect is one that I cannot calculate at this time. So there is a real need to look at the issue of deregulation in the oil and gas sector. Can I just say, in reference to the NHS, yes, subsidies are not necessarily a bad thing. I agree completely. In many ways, they are a very good thing if they are properly implemented and efficiently and expediently utilized. Where they are not getting to the end user in the manner in which they were expected to, then I think that we have to be realistic as a country, even if it will mean that we go through a little bit of pain in the short term, because prices will rise for a brief period in time, and then they will drop because of the additional competition. If you look at China, which is one of the top economies in the world today, which is fighting hard against the United States at this time, you will all recall, at least those who are as old as I am, over 50, will remember that China actually closed its borders completely for many years, well over 20 years. They went through harrowing times. We are not even talking about anything like that. So I think we are looking not, in fact, at necessarily a subsidy removal. If you want to call it, it is actually a subsidy transfer, because we are looking at real benefits to the economy and to Nigerians that can be handed over to Nigerians, and that all Nigerians across the spectrum will feel and see from the get-go. I think that that in itself is a critical benefit of what the government is trying to do, and government is really serious and really intent in doing it at this time. Now, I will come back to the deregulatory benefits to actually outline them a little later so that I can allow some of the other panelists to speak. But just in answer to what Olisa said, government has not done anything for him since he was born. Why don't we give the government a chance to do something for us this time around?